Hi, it's Jen, and today I'm going to be talking to you all about my winter survival guide with a disability and being in a wheelchair. So, winter is coming, dun dun. And everyone is posting things on social media saying, hello autumn, hello October, yay! And I'm like, no, because winter is cold, it's wet, it's dark. What part of that are we getting excited about? I don't know. The floor becomes wet and dirty and slippery, and to add to that we've got leaves falling on the floor as well, which makes it slippery. So yes, autumn and winter are not my friends. In fact, if I could hibernate, I would. So I kid you not, when I go out and it starts to get cold, probably below 15 degrees, I get so cold. And it's also very damp as well, so the damp really can penetrate through clothes and fabric, making you extra cold. It is a nightmare, it really is. People are like, oh my gosh, and it's like, well, think of it this way. If you're a healthy, able-bodied person, would you go and sit on a park bench for 4 hours in winter? Probably not. But that is kind of a similar thing, except we can't move our feet and legs and stuff like that to keep active and keep the blood circulating and keep warm. So you kind of got to look at it that way. It's like here and down and very, but I won't go on about that. So yeah, because the atmosphere is quite damp over here, it can really mess with joints and pains and aches, which is why, you know, quite a lot of people get achy and the arthritis gets worse in winter as well. So anyway, I will talk about what I wear when I go out in the winter. Well, some would argue most days, because it never gets that hot over here. So I start off with a pair of just normal ankle socks. That's alright, that's not too bad. Then I move on to a pair of knee-high thermal socks. These are from good old Marks and Spencer. Yeah, who said that having a disability was sexy? Some people do, but anyway, moving swiftly on. And I'll have a pair of skinny jeans. I'll put on my tall Ugg boots. These are great because they are shearling. Shearling? I don't know. Shearling. I'm going to go with shearling. And they're very insulated as well, so they really help to kind of keep the heat in. And then what else that I do is I put these little toasty things in. Fiery feet. Get these in camping shops and you kind of see them, you kind of crack them to activate them and then they warm up and you can put them inside your shoes. So these are great if you're going out on a long day. Next thing I do is I will wear a lovely thermal vest, long sleeved thermal vest. These were from Marks and Spencer and I love these because they're so light and really soft as well. Then over that I will wear just a normal cotton long sleeve, and then over that I might wear another just light v-neck jumper, and then I will wear, I am a big fan of the knitwear. I don't tend to scrimp on the knitwear, so this is a 100% cashmere jumper which has been in storage, which is why it's a bit wrinkly. But this is so thick. Honestly, if you invest in natural fibres like wool or cashmere, it really makes a huge difference, I personally find. So that's my cashmere one. I'm a big fan of cashmere because it's lighter material. And on top of that, I might wear a little gilet, and then over that I will wear a good old-fashioned duvet coat, and this is from Gap, and again it is insulated with duck down, which really helps keep the heat in. It's long, so it goes down just above the knee, so you can sit on top of it, and it keeps the heat in around your core and your legs and everything, so that's really great. Even though like my jumpers and my coats and my boots are expensive, I kind of invested that money because A, I know that they're going to keep me warm, and B, they last a long time and don't really tend to date either. Knitwear, not really, if you get a classic knitwear, doesn't tend to date. So if you can, it is a great idea to try and invest. Do know that some supermarkets do cashmere at lower prices, which is great. Give those a go as well. They might not be as thick, but they are a lot better than having nylon or viscose. I will wear a nice hat. I actually haven't invested in a good hat yet. I've got just beanies and things like that. They kind of work, but I would like something that is a little bit better if I'm going out to really keep the heat in. Then I've got the big hood on the coat, so I'll put that over the hood as well. And then I have invested in these. These were not cheap. These are called seal skins with a Z. And these are cycling gloves, and they are waterproof, thermal and amazing. And yeah, if you're pushing yourself around in your wheelchair in winter, you definitely need a good pair of gloves, and you definitely need waterproof ones, let me tell you that. And the next thing is keeping your legs warm. That is what I really struggle with as well. So the first one is this scarf. This is actually a scarf from River Island. It's really wide. I would say it's about 1 metre wide. And what I do is I fold it in half, and then when it's folded in half, it's about 1 metre long. And then I lay it over my lap and then tuck it in and around my legs. So that gives me an extra layer and keeps me warm, and it's not too big either. If you've got a proper blanket, it's just too big and a bit granny, but I can kind of cope with the fact that I've just got a scarf over me, if you know what I mean. And also it's great if you need to transfer or get out, and it's pretty light, and you can just, you know, chuck it on another chair or get rid of it quite quickly. So again, another attractive item is my waterproof coat, which I wear as a coat, like when it's not so cold, but it's also really great to put over your legs and kind of tuck it all down, because my Ugg boots come up quite high, so that keeps my feet dry. But then keeping my legs dry, I can just tuck this around, and it works really well. And believe me, there's nothing worse than being wet. So if I wanted to keep my legs warm and dry, and I was going out for a long day, like a long day trip to London, I have discovered this. Now this is my husband's gilet. I don't know if you say gilet or gillet, but I kind of feel like I want to go with gilet. That's what I'm going to go with. And this is great because again, it's not too long and it's not too wide. Then I can put it over my legs, and it keeps me super warm and super dry, and I'm stoked with this. Yeah, try it, let me know what you think. But yeah, I find I've not been able to find anything really for legs that keep you warm, and then like you can just go like this to get rid of it, so it's really easy for transferring. What I am actually going to look into is getting the sleeves sewn up so that the cold air can't get in there. Sorry, Sean. Another thing that I do that probably kills my poor husband is if we've been out for the day and we're on a drive home, I take off my shoes and socks, and then what I do is I put the fans on the feet in the car on super duper high, and that really helps to warm my feet up on the journey home, or if we're going somewhere as well. So my poor husband's sitting there with the window open, absolutely sweltering, while I'm just like trying to get warm. It's kind of ironic because my husband is Australian, from Sydney, so people are always like, well, why are you here? And that's a good question. I think that's it for my body. That is how I try and keep my body warm. Another thing which I spoke about in my pain management is hot baths. I could not cope without hot baths, and hot water bottles. I would not be able to cope with winter without a hot water bottle. I have to show you this. This was another present from my sister. She knows me so well. This is an electric blanket, but like not one you put under your bed. It's one that you can put over you when you're watching telly at night. Like this. And then you've got your little controls here. and you plug it in and it warms up, and it's got 5 heat settings, and it can stay on for 1 hour or 9 hours, and I think it turns off after a certain amount of time or if it gets too hot. But oh my god, if you are a cold person, I cannot recommend this highly enough. I love it so much. Another thing that I suffer from is really dry, gnarly hands. Everyone gets dry hands and dry skin in the winter, and I use my hands quite a lot, like pushing myself around and everything like that, so they can be exposed to the elements. So I have recently found this great hand cream. This is from the Body Shop. It's a hemp hand cream for hard working hand protector it is, for ultra dry hands, and I put this on in the evening, and it's like a balm. It kind of soaks in, and wow, that's amazing. There's also another one that they do in Boots, the Norwegian hand cream for the fishermen, and that's really amazing as well. Dry lips, everyone probably suffers with dry lips, so I always like to have a little bit of Carmex lying around. Those are a few tips about how I survive winter. If you've got any tips, whether you have a disability or not, please share them with everybody down below so that we can all take something from this video. Make sure you share this video as well. If it might help someone else, that would be absolutely awesome. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this video useful. Remember to thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And I look forward to seeing you in my next video.